You, Angelo, are alternative rock, funk metal, and ska punk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
See, now you know who you are.
I'll buy that for $1.
Emilio Castillo is a saxophone player and composer. He's best known as being the founder of the band Tower of Power. My second guess is Angelo Carmen Christopher Moore.
Oh, damn. Carmen, okay.
Research. AKA Dr. Mad Vibe. He's the lead singer and saxophonist of the band Fishbone.
Mm-hmm.
So first question, isn't your sister's name Carmen?
It sure is, man. And I've never heard my sister's name used right in the middle of mine. So that's a whole new one. What'd you say? Angelo Carmen Christopher Moore?
Angelo Carmen Christopher Moore. So your middle name is not Carmen? Oh, wow. I was about to throw one at you. I'm like, I knew your parents.
My middle name is Christopher.
All right, let's get going here. So I got some fun stuff to start things off. I try to come up with questions that not everybody asks you to keep it a little bit more interesting and do a little bit of research. So in the get-go, you, Emilio, started a band called the Gotham City Crime Fighters. And your song was one of your songs. I don't know how many you did, but your first single was Who Stole the Batmobile?
We recorded a song called Who Stole the Batmobile. It wasn't like we had our first single. We did one recording. I was 15.
15. Wow.
Yeah.
So
Tower
of Power. So there is a answer to Who Stole the Batmobile in the DC universe. And do you know who stole the Batmobile?
I don't know, the Riddler?
Close, but it was Gambit. Gambit stole the Batmobile.
Yeah, but
oh my God. I was going to say Ruben Allen.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so here's a bit of Batman trivia. We'll have some fun. Are you a Batman fan, Angelo?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do a little.
Wait, I got to ask Emilio one thing.
Sure. I said okay for you. I'm your assistant.
Right on. So now what, you play saxophone, right?
Yeah, remember I used to see you at Ruben's place.
That's right. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Ruben Allen.
Yeah, I was telling Joel that it seemed like I'd go in there like once a year to get my horn fixed, and you were always there every time I'd go. And he'd be like, you know Angelo, right? I go, yeah, we met last time.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, well, all right, man. That's good. We're still here.
Yeah,
so when I worked for Angelo, he left his saxophone at multiple gigs, and I would put it on the bus because he would forget it. And then the last time I saw him, he was at his mom's house trying to find saxophone in the garage.
Oh my God.
How many times have you lost your saxophone, Emilio?
I keep thinking, would I forget it or did my crew forget it?
Your crew probably forgot it. I literally picked up your saxophone, your drum set carpet,
wow,
and your terrapin a couple times. But the carpet was every day.
This is on the Warped Tour?
This was with Stone Temple Pilots. I don't know the name of the tour. It was with the Chili Peppers.
Stone Temple Pilots and Chili Peppers. Okay, yeah, that wasn't a Warped Tour. That was Stone Temple Pilots and Chili Peppers. I remember that. Wow, man, we were all there.
So, Angelo, you played on Plush every night, I remember. So
Plush.
What's and that to me was an odd combination of.
What's Plush?
That's STP's biggest hit song was called Plush.
Oh.
And you used to play sax on it every night during the show.
I did play sax with them, didn't I? I can't remember the song, but I do remember sitting in with them
40, maybe 40 times.
Yeah, right. It's, oh my God. It seems like another planet from now. It's like a whole nother dimension when I think about it.
Okay, so Angelo obviously improvised. What's the oddest place that you've played your sax, Emilio? Like a different band. Was there one? So you guys, well, you're headlining all the time now, but have you done a tour where you sit in with other people on tour and you're like, oh God, how is this going to work?
Many times. I guess probably one of the oddest combinations where our horns played with another band was Molly Hatchet. I remember we were doing the Hollywood Palladium. I I used to hang out at the record plant a lot in Los Angeles when I first got there to try to get my career back on track. And one day I'm hanging with their new singer named Jimmy, and he says, "Hey man, we got a song." And so we played this song, I think it was called Bloody Reunion, and a couple other tunes. And then they were doing a charity gig at the Hollywood Palladium. They asked us if we would come and do it with them. So I got the guys and we went over there and they set up our horns, 5 microphones, 5 horns in front of the marshals. And I remember we're playing these songs. It's louder than anybody I've ever played with, right? And Mark Russo standing next to him and he goes, "I can't hear myself." And I go,
"Oh my God.
It doesn't matter. And he goes, "But I can't tell if I'm in tune." I go, "It doesn't matter."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. What
Oh
did you do
God.
with Poison, Emilio?
What?
I read on, I think it was Wikipedia, wherever you did some stuff with the band Poison. What did you guys do?
We recorded on their record.
Which song do you remember?
No, I have no idea.
I was looking and I couldn't find it. I was trying to dig and see.
We also recorded with PIL.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
We get around,
Okay, so I'm gonna go back in the day with you. So
Pretty good.
you got caught stealing. Your parents throw you in the bedroom. They say, "Get your crap together," because you're 14, 15 years old. And you decide to pick up a guitar, or what did you pick up?
No, my dad took us to the music store. He said, "Anything you want." And all the instruments were on the wall. And, my dad, he was a bartender and he used to work at this show bar. They used to call them show bars. And they had these groups called show bands, which were like these bands that had, a trumpet player that doubled on sax and a clarinet player that doubled on trombone. And they do
instrumental.
Yeah, they do like songs like Gigolo and Night Train and stuff like that. And we used to go pick them up, from work in the afternoon, and they'd be there rehearsing. And when I looked at the band, I always thought the sax player is the coolest guy, So when he took me there and said, "Anything you want," I said, "I want the saxophone." But my brother, he thought the drummer was the coolest guy, so he picked the drums.
So what were you stealing? And your brother was with you?
Yeah, me and my brother and what became my guitar player, Jody Lopez. All the young men were wearing these really tight, high-necked, sort of different colored t-shirts, real tight. They called them muscle man t-shirts. So they had them in apricot and turquoise, really nice colors. And we decided one day, as we're going to the swimming pool to swim at Washington High School, we'll go through Mervyn's and we'll put on 3 or 4 of these t-shirts and put our shirt over it, and we'll just leave. And so we leave. The manager of the store is right there waiting for us. Had a real short crime career. First time I got caught.
And then you
say a short crime career, huh?
And then you call your first single, "Who Stole the Batmobile?" There was a thieving thing going here, but Angelo, your first tour was with the Beastie Boys.
Oh yeah.
They were rhyming and a stealing, so that was the connection. They were. You guys are both good.
I guess they were rhyming, and they was definitely rhyming. That's for sure. The Beastie Boys. Oh my God, I remember that.
So speaking of great stuff, so Angelo, you got to record with Little Richard, and I was wondering.
I didn't get to record with Little Richard.
You did a song with Little Richard. Fishbone did.
Me.
Really?
Fish did that. Fish played drums on that.
We got to update your Wikipedia. I'm going to help you out on this. We got to work on this. It doesn't even have your name right. It has your sister's name in there.
Yeah. So at least when you're calling shit out, people can hear it and go, "Oh, that's what it really is." Okay.
All right.
Or maybe the people on Wikipedia will hear this and they'll want to put the right shit in there,
They're pretty funny.
If I was there, I'd leave that Little Richard thing in.
Oh, well, yeah, leave the Little Richard thing in. Why not, right?
But Emilio,
we all look alike.
You did work.
Yeah, I played with Little Richard.
Yeah, that was me.
You did work with John Lee Hooker, right, Emilio?
Yeah, that was a funny session. We did a whole album in one day.
Wow.
So we go to the record plant in Sausalito. We go, they say, "You got a session with John Lee Hooker." We're like, great, And we go in there, and the guy says, "Okay, we're going to rehearse the first tune." And John Lee starts going, "Got a big leg, got a mini skirt, oh Lord," and we're going, okay. You know, we make up some parts, right? And the guy hits the talkback. He says, "Perfect. That's great. Let's record it." And so
Oh shit.
he hits the red button, and John Lee starts singing some other song. And we got to make up for it. And we
Damn.
yeah, we did that like 12 times, man.
Oh damn. So Johnny Lee Hooker was just kind of out of his mind, huh?
Oh yeah, he was way out of his mind.
Short-term memory like a motherfucker. He started singing one song and then, okay, let's do it again, and a whole different one, huh?
And I'm not sure, but I think that album got nominated for a Grammy.
Right?
It's great.
Hey man, that's you know, that's the thing that made him what he was, man. That's some badass shit, Johnny Lee Hooker.
Yeah. So
I remember when I first discovered Johnny Lee Hooker, man, I'd listened to Johnny Lee Hooker on a loop for like at least, like probably when I was like, what, like in the 90s, maybe early 90s, I discovered Johnny Lee Hooker, and I just listened to him straight for months and months.
I was bad. I would listen to him for months and months. First was BB King, and then I heard John Lee Hooker. And once I heard John Lee Hooker, I wasn't listening to as much BB King. I just went John Lee Hooker crazy. And then there's a guy named Blind Willie McTell, and God, I loved him.
No idea who that is. Blind Willie McTell.
Yeah, it was in the 1920s. It's amazing stuff.
That sounds like Cheech and Chong. They used to do that skit where they would do blind lemon chitlin.
Blind lemon chitlin. Oh, damn.
Blind Lemon Jefferson.
Tommy Chong would be out there with a harmonica going, oh, and then somebody would say something in the audience. He'd say, "I might be your father."
So one of the things interesting I heard you say, so Angelo, did you know that Sly Stone was a DJ? Did you know that, Ange?
Sly Stone's daughter.
Was it
Sly Stone's daughter?
No.
His daughter is a DJ at KCRW.
She may be now, but back in the day, before Sly ever made a record,
he was a DJ. He was DJing.
I never knew that.
Radio. K-Soul Radio, KSOL, and KDIA after that.
Oh, and he was an actual radio DJ before he got into music.
Yeah, and he was a good DJ. Everybody listened to him.
Right. Yeah, he was playing the jams then. Well, listen to his music. His music was great, man.
Oh yeah.
You know.
So Angelo,
everybody does it. Everybody does the Sly Stone song. If you want me to stay.
Well, not only that.
Not only that, it's so much more though. It's so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I heard his daughter does a radio show at KCRW or something like that.
Huh.
Playing all the jams. I still got to check it out, but yeah, that's the last I heard. But what were you saying, Joel?
You guys formed Fishbone in junior high school?
Yep.
So have either one of you
At least you got that one right.
I got one right. Have either one of you guys had any jobs other than music?
I worked at McDonald's and I worked at Wendy's Hamburgers.
Really? On Platte Village?
That was it. Platte.
Wow.
Platte Village.
I can't picture you working at McDonald's. You must have been horrible.
Well, you know, somebody changed their order.
Yeah, it was you every time.
No, it was one time somebody changed their order and it was at lunchtime and it was a long line, dude. And somebody changed their order from like a Big Mac to McNuggets or something like that. And I could not figure out how to change that order on that cash register. And the boss came and pulled me away from there and put me on the dishes in the back. Shortly after that, I was out of there. Then I worked at Wendy's across the street.
That's where we used to all hang out.
Yeah, and they fired me because I was late after a while. And after that, I was just on tour for the remainder.
Shocker. Emilio, what about you? Did you have any other jobs?
You know, when I first met Doc and we first started to write, my dad was a restaurant manager at that time. He managed a Lion's coffee shop. And I started working for him as a dishwasher. And then when Doc came in the band, I got him a job as the dishwasher and I got promoted to porter.
Nice.
I used to clean the bar in the morning and I sneak Doc in there. We'd lock it up and we listen to Nancy Wilson on the jukebox and records and stuff and drink in there. And then one day I woke up and I said, I'm not doing that no more. And I remember my dad was getting himself dressed, you know, to go to work. And he looked, he goes, "What are you doing here?" I said, I'm not going to do that anymore. He goes, "What?" I said, "Yeah, I'm only going to do music." And he goes, what are you doing over there at Steve's place?
Ah,
I said, we're writing songs. He goes, I better not find out you're doing anything else. So then he left for work. And when he got to work, Doc was there, and Doc hated that gig. And Doc was, where's Mimi at? That's my nickname. Where's Mimi at? And my dad goes, he says he ain't working here no more. Doc took off his apron and walked out.
oh shit! And where did you work at again? Where was that? Like
Lions Coffee Shop in Fremont, California.
Oh damn! Okay, you worked at the coffee shop. All right. You was like, I'm out of here, huh?
1968. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Music.
Did you ever work with Curtis Mayfield, Emilio?
I performed on the same stage with him when he had Superfly out. And I remember it was really disappointing for me because he was a big hero of mine, and that album, This Is My Country. I mean, I studied the production and the writing on that album like forever. And then we found out we had the gig at Winterland with Curtis Mayfield when he went solo. And we worked up this very obscure tune from the This Is My Country album called You Want Somebody Else. It was in 3/4. And Lenny Williams had just come in the band, and we were all proud of ourselves. It sounded good, And we got there, and he didn't even pay no attention to us. He didn't notice nothing. I mean, it was like we didn't exist, man. And he was up in his Superfly mode,
Curtis Mayfield, right.
That wasn't an era that I dug of his. I dug his earlier stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn. I got to collaborate with Curtis Mayfield.
Did you?
On He's a Fly Guy.
Yeah?
The song Fly Guy, and it was in that movie, I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker.
Oh yeah.
So they had that song, when Huggy Bear walk out on the sidewalk with his big platform shoes, and they got goldfish in the shoes. Yeah.
So what was you like when you worked with him? Pretty cool?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was mellow. It went by,
I mean, he's one of my biggest heroes in the world. I totally,
yeah.
He got me into music. Angelo got me into music because Angelo gave me, I think it was your first tape cassette. I think it was from the first album, the tape cassette. And then I started listening to Angelo's music because he'd have all these crazy people across the street always in the garage. There'd always be like, what's that? What band is that guy from? Or whatever. Angelo's always been a real gregarious person. There's always a million people around. And I loved that Curtis Mayfield song.
Gregarious.
I loved it. And after that,
the Curtis Mayfield music, all that stuff I was playing, huh?
You were. And but you were like listening to Chili Peppers sometimes too. You were all over the place, what I remember, what you were listening to, but you were always listening to something. And then I don't know, man, the Curtis Mayfield one hit me and I started just digging. And that's
that's feel good music, man.
Keep going. Yeah.
Feel good music. Yeah.
Why'd you pick up the sax, Angelo? I know your father played trumpet, right?
My dad played saxophone.
Oh, okay.
And he played with Count Basie for a while.
Really?
Yep. I wanted to play a synthesizer, but he gave me a saxophone instead.
Do you still have your dad's sax?
Yep, I still do. He got like a Selmer.
That's cool. I never knew that.
He got a Selmer.
I never heard him play. He would never play.
No, he never played. He ain't here no more, but I play his horn now. I play it for the good times and special places, Oh,
that's cool.
But I got my own saxophone. I got a bass saxophone, baritone, tenor, alto, and soprano.
All right.
I got the theremin. I play the theremin.
Theremin's fun.
The double tier organ. I got a 74 Korg organ I'll be playing. That's my whole new thing I play with my projects. Dr. Mad Vibe and the Missing Links. I'm playing the organ and all that and singing and everything.
Are there any guys in Tower of Power who do not know how to read music?
Well, my organ player, who's a fantastic musician, he's not really he can read a chord chart, but he's not like a proficient reader. And let's see, who else? I guess the rest read pretty well. I'm probably the weakest reader in the band.
No kidding. Angelo,
I feel like I had a. Wait, say that again.
Is there anybody in Fishbone who can read music?
Oh God, man. I don't
know. The toughie is.
Maybe the guitar player, but I feel like our guitar player, Mark Phillips, But you know what? I feel like I was in a session with Tower Power horns somewhere back in the day. I can't remember where it was, but it was
back in one day, because Emilio's back in the day is way farther back in the day than our back.
I know, but it was either Tower Power or Chicago or something like that, right? And I remember we were doing this horn part, and everybody had a sheet of music in front of them. I didn't have a sheet of music in front of me because I can't read. And I eventually got the horn part, but every once in a while, motherfuckers would look over at me like, what's up with this dude? I don't know if it was real or if it was a dream, but that's what happened.
If it's a dream, I had the same dream recently.
Because if it's a dream, you could read.
Then if it's a dream, I can read, Because I can't read. I understand the concept of it. When I look at it, I could read real slow, but I mean, I play by ear mainly, man. You know.
Yeah, me too.
What's it like? So, Emilio, you guys have had close to, if not more than 70 members in your band. Angelo, you guys are hitting about 25 various members of the band Fishbone coming and going. Does it worry either one of you guys each time somebody comes and goes? You have longevity behind you, you have success behind you, but is it a concern that this is a big deal? So like you change out singers, Emilio, that's scary for most bands. But was there a point where you're thinking, man, we're done, but you kept going?
No, there's never been a point where we said we're done. And it was scary when we first started replacing members, because we thought, what are the people going to say? And in fact, the people would yell out. Like when we had Rufus Miller, our first singer, he was very commanding on stage. And when I fired him and got Rick Stevens, they were yelling, where's Rufus? But within 3 months, it was all about Rick. And then when I let Rick go and I got Lenny Williams, it was like, where's Rick? We want Rick, but within like 2 weeks, man, it was like all about Lenny Williams, So what happened is people just kind of got used to us changing, and they're like, they always get good people, man. So we're going to go see who they got this time,
So at least you guys focus in on like when it comes to a lead singer, you have made it a thing to where it's like a featured singer. The singer's featured. So when you get different singers, it's a thing that you guys, that Tower Power does. You guys get different singers everyone. Y'all rotate singers because
we rotate all kind of people. I've had several organ players, many sax players, many trumpet players, many guitar players. Several.
I know with Fishbone, man, the only people that Fishbone hasn't rotated is me or the bass player.
Well, I'm the only one that hadn't been rotated out.
You ain't been rotated. You've been there the whole time.
I mean, Doc's been with me the whole time, but he always tells people at clinics, he goes, other than being fired for bad behavior for a few days here and there, I've been here the whole time. Like Rocco, Rocco, my bass player, I fired him for 8 years for heroin addiction, but then he came back. And, Garibaldi was in and out of the band 4 times. The last time he was out 18 years, but he came back in 98, and we always go, we think he's staying this time.
God damn, 15 years. See, those are the kind of numbers that I got with Fishbone. Motherfuckers be quitting for 10 and 15 years, and then they come back, right? I look at them like they new. I'm like, oh, it's the new guys, right? They come back expecting some whole other shit. We're gonna save the ship, but a whole decades, motherfuckers have been gone, and they come back expecting a certain thing. I'm like, no, motherfucker, it turned into the haunted house and everything since you've been gone. Woo, you talk about adolescent regressive behavior.
How'd you guys come up with the band names? I've never asked you, Angelo. Why Fishbone? Why Dr. Mad Vibe? All right, well, Angelo's sleeping. Emilio.
No. I picked my name off a list. We were a band called the Motowns. We were like a little slick soul band with suits and razor cuts, and we wanted to get into the Fillmore, and we knew we'd never get in wearing suits.
Damn, the Fillmore. Where? Fillmore and where? Chicago,
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah, Fillmore West. Yeah.
Fillmore West. Yeah.
And so we wanted to change our name to one of those weird band names like Frumius Bandersnatch and Lothar and the Hand People.
Oh,
And,
damn. Lothar and the Hand People.
Oh, yeah.
That's really tough.
I was on break at a recording session. And there was a 3-page list of all these weird band names. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, none of these are going to work for us. We're a soul band, But then I saw the name Tower of Power. I went out and told the guys, hey, what about Tower of Power? They go, yeah, that's us,
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It was on a list.
Damn, so it's a whole book of that. I heard that somewhere. God, man. Well, Fishbone, that's like high school. It used to be the drummer's name.
Oh, Fish.
Then we just called the band Fishbone. We leave him, take the bone away from him, leave him with the fish.
Oh, no way. I never
named Fishbone.
But the first couple of names of the band was Diamonds and Things. That was the first name. Then we called the band Megatron. That was the second name. And after we kept getting booked with heavy metal bands, we changed Megatron to Fishbone.
Okay, here's one. This one's good. So, which band is it? These are what your guys' bands are. Okay, so whose band is soul? Either Tower of Power or Fishbone. Right. Whose band is funk rock?
Wait, and who's asking these questions?
This is what your bands are classified as. You guys have classifications as to what your bands are, which I thought were really entertaining.
And the first one was what?
Soul. You are not a soul band. Sorry, Angelo.
Oh, Fishbone is not a soul band.
It is not a soul band. You
know what's trippy? Let me tell you what's trippy about some of these questions, right?
Yeah.
Some of them are coming from a source that is completely non-musical.
Okay, next question. No.
No, because Fishbone and Tower Power our music is soul based. It all considers on what you consider soul music.
Well, you get to be, this one's an easy one. Who's an alternative rock band? Fishbone is an alternative rock band, not Tower of Power.
Well, yeah, Tower of Power isn't. I wouldn't consider y'all. You guys don't have any rock elements. Tower of Power has never done rock, but you guys have done.
They're more like the side of Tower of Power.
R&B and soul. Yeah.
So Tower of Power is soul, funk, R&B, jazz, and jazz funk.
Wait, hold it. Say it one more time.
Who you are? We'll tell you. Alternative rock, funk metal, and ska punk.
The ska punk at the end is a nice little accent,
The ska punk's kind of cool. The ska punk's kind of neat.
Yeah, ska punk is like it's spicy.
Cover songs. Why did you guys decide to cover Date Rape? So Date Rape was a Sublime song, Emilio, that you guys did an amazing cover of. Amazing. So who decided that? How did that come down the pipeline?
Who did it?
Fishbone did a cover of this song called Date Rape, which is, and they made it. It's awesome.
Oh, right. Oh, I didn't know you were talking to me, or I thought it was another one of them trick questions.
No, the trick questions are, but you did this one. You sang a song.
Sometimes you be throwing out there trick questions, man.
No, I can come up with a couple more. I don't know. We got. Here we go. How much? This is good. Robin and.
No, wait, hold on. Let's go back to the last one.
Answer. So why did you guys cover Date Rape? Who picked the song? And then Emilio, I was wondering, you guys have done some cover songs, I'm assuming, through the years. I know in the beginning you were all cover songs, and then you started doing your own music.
It was like a Fishbone-esque song. Maybe our manager may have suggested that we do that because it was like a Fishbone-esque type of thing.
Gotcha. What songs have you covered in the last?
Have you ever noticed that when bands cover music, it's usually by a manager's suggestion?
Yeah,
or the label.
Because the band, like
the Suits say, if you cover.
Yeah, because you know what? They're from the outside perspective of a band, right? Which is, if you're in the band, that's the creative perspective. But if you're on the outside of the band, that's like a whole different perspective. You're coming at, as the consumer, right? And people like familiarity and shit. Right. But when it's the band ain't really, the band is thinking about doing representing themselves authentically. Right. Instead of representing somebody else, which is all right, but it just ain't you. You want to put all of you out there. Ideally.
I think you put you into that song.
We
killed it.
we did a cover album, you know, but only because our manager leaned on us. He said, "You're coming up on 40 years, you know, you've always done original albums." He goes, "Be nice to give the fans something different, you know?" And I was like, "I don't want to do that." You know, he said, "Well, what if you tried it, you know, and see how it goes?" I said, "We'll try it, but if it's going south, I'm not going to do it." But we did it, and we got off on it.
And it was good. Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. That's neat. So I interviewed a guy named John Mayen on here, whose teacher actually was David Garibaldi. But John is Elton John's percussion player for since like 1992 now. And so one of the things we tangented was he'll be looking to his right and there's Sting, you know, and he's just watching him because he's playing right next to the monitor board. And he's kind of looking like, you know, quit staring at me, Sting. Have you guys had people during your shows where you're looking to your left or your right going, oh my God, they're staring right at me too? And it's this guy you respect, I would say, as a musician.
Yeah, Prince.
Oh, Prince is amazing.
Prince used to come and see us whenever we played Minneapolis, and you know, that was always an honor, you know.
Did he ever sit in with you guys?
He did not sit in. He asked us to go play with him, but it always seemed to fall through in the middle of the night. He'd say, you know, I want you to come out to the studio, and I'm getting all the best guys in town, and we're going to record something. And then we'd hear right at the last second, oh no, he couldn't get the guys he wanted. You know, one time he sent a limo. We're all in the limo, and we're like, okay, finally, it's real. And we got about halfway out there, and the driver pulls over, takes a phone call, and he goes, sorry guys, he couldn't get the guys he wanted. Sent us back, and we're like, we checked out of our rooms, man. You got to get us rooms.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But the biggest pleasure for me was James Brown. James Brown, we have a song called Digging on James Brown that we do. And we were doing sound check at the Paramount Theater in Oakland. And we were opening for James Brown, you know, and he was on the side of the stage and I was doing the sound check, singing Digging on James Brown. And my partner, Doc, you know, he and I wrote that tune. And he was like, I hope he's not going to get mad. You know? When we came off the stage, James Brown leans over to Doc. He goes, I like that James Brown song.
Digging on James Brown, huh? I need to hear it. Now I got to hear it.
It's great. I heard
I
it.
got to hear it, man. Oh, man.
It's a few times over the last couple of days, actually.
Damn, I did too. I did a couple things with Prince. I was on the White Room with Prince, performing with one of his songs, and it was in I think it was in the UK or something like that. Yeah, and then then he came to see us in France one time. But yeah, the White Room.
So here's one. So as songwriters, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, on and off type stuff. How do you change when you try to write something when you're not using drugs or alcohol to when you have been? Is it scary to be like, man, I hope I can come up with something as good?
My partner, Doc, when I sobered up a year before him. And when he sobered up, all of a sudden he stopped writing, you know, and then, but things were getting better for us. And we got signed to a 7-album deal on Epic. And the guy who signed us, he was a sober guy too. And he has this big meeting with the band and he says, you know, we need new songs, we need blah, blah, blah. And he goes, but I need you two, me and Doc, to start writing, you know? And Doc goes, well, you know, I've kind of had a writer's block. I go, hey, Doc, I go, writer's block is when you try to write and you can't. I go, you ain't tried to write. And I said, you come to my house at 11 o'clock on Tuesday and we're going to write. And we wrote Attitude Dance that day in like, man, not even an hour, man. And, you know, that song got covered by Luis Miguel.
You know what, man? Sometimes you need somebody with you to pull you out of the writer's block. Because I go through writer's blocks a lot. But when I go through them by myself. Because I like working by myself. I'm playing all the instruments, I'm writing all the shit. But when it comes like when I go through a drought, dude, it's like a drought where I call it pulling for petrol when the gas tank is empty. And that was one of my dissertations I did for a Spelman College Zoom conference, talking to the kids about when you have a writer's block, but you still need to complete the project or you got a timeline, but you just can't move yourself to fucking do it. That's when you have to go into muscle memory at that point. Because even though you're not feeling it, you got to fake it until you feel it. Once you get that muscle memory going, and then once you just get into the motion, then you'll start to produce. But man, them writer's blocks can be a bitch, boy. You know, then you got to fake it till you feel it.
What are the oddest gigs you guys have had? So Fishbone, I'm sure there's got to be a few. I booked Angelo for a Men Against Rape rally in Santa Barbara at the college. Remember that? It was a free concert for the students. So that would be an odder gig, but it was a good gig and a good cause. So
something like that, huh? Where was that at again?
Santa Barbara College. It was at UCSB. We drove up there and you guys performed. You started talking about the beauty of a big booty black woman. And I was like, Angelo. He kept smiling at me. He kept smiling at me. And then the guy, they're getting mad. And then Angelo comes over and well, they haven't paid. And Angelo's like, oh. And then he stopped saying, and he kept singing the songs. I was like, good, sing the song, sing the song.
Oh my God, these little pockets in time that I can't remember.
Remember going to
so many. It has been so many shows, man. They're countless after a while. It's just a blur, man.
We went to a dive bar, Angelo and I, like a long time ago, and he started singing. They're yelling, sing Fishbone, because they had karaoke going on. So he didn't like it. So he gets up and he gets up and he starts singing Johnny Cash as poorly as he possibly can.
Oh, Johnny Cash. I did sing Johnny Cash, didn't I?
Yeah. Anyway,
karaoke.
What are some of the odder gigs?
It was karaoke. Where was that at?
It was on Ventura.
Now, I do remember that. And you know, a lot of these things that you're bringing up, man, it's like a needle in a haystack. I can't remember a lot of this shit, dude, but I remember the feeling or the vibe of the time that it was happening. But I do remember that.
Well, there was some guy at the show. He was like a cowboy guy or something.
Where was it at? In the valley?
Yeah, it was in the valley. So there's this cowboy guy, and he took us back to his house where he had a party or something, and we had all this great food. And I'm like, this is very random. It was fun. Anyway, what are some of the stranger gigs that you guys have had? So John Mann, for example, that Elton John guy, this very wealthy Russian person, he got married in a strip club. And he's like, and we had to get Elton's 8-foot-long piano up on the stage in the strip club. And he's like, that was a really strange gig. Have you had any obscure ones through the years that you would remember, Emilio?
One I remember is when we played Brigham Young University in Utah, which was a real straight-laced college, you know, and we had this song called, this is the early 70s, and we had a song called You Got the Funkifies. And somehow the powers that be at the college got hip to that song and down to the nightclub where we go bumpty, bumpty, bump. And they had, in their minds, it had sexual reference. And they forbid us to play those songs at the gig.
And what song was it?
You Got the Funkifies. And the nightclub, which was, they used to call it Bumpty Bumpty Bump.
Oh, so, Bumpty Bumpty Bump, okay.
You know, and then the other thing about the gig was they forbid the kids to dance. And at the time, do you guys remember in the 70s, early 70s, there used to be this like white dance group called the Lockers. And they used to wear these weird costumes. And
I remember the Lockers. Oh, yeah. That was one of my favorite groups to look at.
Right. So we're playing the gig, you know, we're not doing Funkifies, we're not doing down to the nightclub, we're trying to obey the rules, you know, but the kids are not supposed to dance, man. And all of a sudden at the top of the bleachers, we see like 14 guys up there, you know, locking.
Doing their shit, right.
It's like man, Footloose.
Here come the fun police, man. I mean, those elders at the college, they came out and, you know, stop the concert, you know, and they got up and made a big announcement, you know, no, there will be no dancing, you know.
Oh my God. How could they have a concert but then have that rule in the middle of it?
Yeah, how could they have a Tower of Power, man? You know, like
no shit, really. Unless they have a classical thing going on there, they're gonna lose on that one. But Tower of Power, you can't not dance to y'all.
Did you ever meet the Spiders back in the day, Emilio?
I mean, my mentors, the Spiders?
Yeah.
I was very good friends with them. You know, I idolized them. I wound up having the same manager. and went to all their gigs, and I tried to be like them. They were a phenomenal band.
So that's got to be like, God, you must feel real successful like early on, because you're hanging out with these guys that are the sole reason that you started to do it.
I'll tell you something funny about the Spiders, man. They were like the hottest soul band in the East Bay, right? But they got a gig in Sacramento at a topless bar. And I thought to myself, man, if I could just get to Sacramento. I mean, that was my vision at the time, that was as far as I could think.
If I could just get to Sacramento to that titty bar, I'd be right in there.
When I was going to put together a podcast, my friends, his daughter was together. They're in 5th grade. They're little girls. It was her and a couple of her friends. And they said, you should ask all your guests when they first felt famous. So we're talking about a little girl here, but I like the concept of it. Is there a time in your guys' careers where you felt famous, possibly, or you felt like you were on the right path, or there was a special moment that made you smile, knowing that things were going right? You can start, Angelo, since you seem like you're in deep thought over there. His hamster trips every now and then, but it makes it there at the end.
Yeah, the first time I felt like I was actually famous. Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, that was a killer. That's cool. Have you guys done Saturday Night Live?
That question is like, I feel famous every time I play.
Yeah.
So there really is no one time when I felt famous, even if it's been in front of thousands of people or just 5 people in the bar staff and security that's there. Because you automatically go into a zone where you the superstar, you go into the magic zone, and it don't matter how, it's always good to have people there with you. I mean, now that I think about it, I'm like, okay, what there was Lollapalooza, there's the Warped Tour, there was Glastonbury, there was it's endless.
Yeah.
Different festivals, man, that I've been played at, or even clubs where it's just like hot and packed and people are all over the place. That's an endless question. It's a philosophical question, actually.
It's a good question, and it's from a 5th grade girl. That's why I liked it. Little kids sometimes have wonderful ideas. So
kids got
some answers that were just. I had a guy. I started crying. And you, Emilio, what do you have a moment that comes to mind that you would share?
The first time I was living with Doc, and we had bedrooms on either side of the wall. And, that was back in the hippie days when you had your mattress on the floor, and so we're asleep. It's early in the morning. And the big radio station in the Bay Area was KSAN. That was when FM first became popular, And so KSAN, that was the station. And I always had this little plastic radio next to my bed playing KSAN. And I woke up, I opened my eyes because I recognized something, and it was the flute from this song on our first album called Sparkling in the Sand. I remember I woke up and it was, it's coming out of the radio, and I started banging on the wall. I go, Doc, they're playing our song, That was like the biggest thrill.
That is cool. So did the hippies win then? You said you're a hippie sleeping on the floor here in your statement. We want no more weird horn players, no hippies. And you got Doc.
Well, that was our mindset when Doc came on that day. But once he played that baritone saxophone, everybody's eyes got real big, and we changed our mind about that.
Yeah, the baritone sax, that's what be putting it down. I was playing my baritone today. My favorite baritone I had, man, was a Jupiter. Somebody stole my Jupiter out there in San Francisco at the Fillmore. I remember in the back alley. That's where I last left it, thinking my crew was going to come get it. And nobody got that motherfucker, man. But it was a Jupiter heavy metal, black and white swirl paint job. Yeah.
Out there somewhere. We'll get it.
Yeah. No, we won't. That motherfucker's gone. But I got that motherfucker's gone, but I got a good one now. I got an Armstrong now. That's what I play.
Cool. Well, I really appreciate your guys' time. If you have any other stories, actually, one more if I can. I don't know. You did some stuff with Jerry Garcia back in the day, right, Emilio?
We played with the Dead several times. Yeah.
It was a fun gig or just mayhem of just hippie people?
Yeah. No, they always treated us really well. They had great pot, they were cool. And yeah, we played on Mickey Hart's solo record, Rolling Thunder, and our very first sort of coming out party when we signed with Warner Brothers was at the Dead's Ranch, and we backed Etta James with the Dead.
Oh wow, Etta James.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So yeah, we played with them a lot.
Through all the people you've played with, which is just lists and lists of amazing people, is there anybody left that you would love to check off the list of having worked with?
Yeah, Sting.
He's pretty cool.
Sting. I met Sting years ago. He was at an Eric Clapton gig at the Forum, and when he was introduced to me, Robert Cray told him, "This is Emilio from Tower of Power." He goes, "Tower of Power. It was a great band." He says, "Before I had the Police, I had a Tower of Power clone band, and we used to do Only So Much Oil in the Ground." And ever since then, I've always thought, man, I'd like to redo that tune, have Sting sing it, do a different feel on it, but it ain't come to fruition yet.
Well, day ain't over yet. What is it? Day ain't over yet?
You're right about that.
How do you feel about Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? There's a Facebook page dedicated to putting you guys in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that I found. So there's quite a few people who have a mission. Do you care? What are your thoughts?
Well, of course I care. I like to be in there. I was friends with the curator for years, and then he retired. But Terry Stewart, great guy. We go to Cleveland. They give us private tours and everything. I dig it. If it don't happen, well, we're elite.
You are elite.
That's the way to look at it. God damn it, elite.
Yeah. And Angelo, I'm going to bug you to talk about the artwork you've been doing because I think it's really healthy and I liked it. So
Avant Presidents.
Hell yeah, he's doing these really cool
is that what you're thinking about? Avant Presidents?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I like that you're doing it.
Yeah, man. Well, it's seen for you. Look at the legacyofangelo.com. You can see what I'm putting out there. So I did probably like 30 pics of Lincoln, Kennedy, and Obama.
Oh, wow.
Each. And I embellished the pictures, put poetry around it. I got a short video that goes with each one with music, the music that I put together that goes with it. You're gonna be able to have a sticker with the president on the front and a QR code on the back. Where you put your phone over the QR code, you can see me doing my presentation about that particular avant president piece that I painted.
It's killer. I think it's really good. I like it. I think it's healthy. I like it. And Emilio, you are going to be playing at the Greek, right? I think we had to postpone it, and we're doing it now.
No, Hollywood Bowl.
Hollywood Bowl. Sorry.
When you guys playing the bowl, man?
The 8th.
The 8th of next month.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Get on down.
Come on, man.
I gotta come check y'all out then. For sure. That the 8th, huh? Let me put that in the calendar. Cool. They've been having a lot of cool people playing at the bowl, man. The Kool and the Gang played just recently, I heard.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Wait, so hold up. You guys are playing during the day because I'm playing on the 8th, but that's at the Corbin Bowl in Reseda.
Oh, that's right by me.
Yeah.
I used to live by there too.
Corbin Bowl, right in Ventura.
I'm on Ventura and Reseda now. I'm at the top of Reseda.
Yeah.
I used to live at White Oak and Saticoy.
Damn, yeah. I used to live on Lindley and Sherman Way.
Oh, okay.
That was all in the neighborhood. And then Ruben Allen was right around there in North Hollywood. And then there was what's the name of that store on Van Nuys? Baxter Northup.
Yeah, but Ruben's place was a sax shop.
Yeah, Ruben's place was a sax shop, man. I would always go there, man. And I would always.
Ruben was.
Have you seen Ruben lately? Have you seen him? What's he doing now?
He came out to see us at the Performance Arts Theater in Cerritos, and but that was about 3 years ago, And I emailed him a couple times because he used to give me this blue sort of fabric stuff that was good for sticky pads.
Yeah, right.
I'm running out, and so
you running out now. You're like, oh shit, how am I gonna get some?
I need some of that, because I don't know where he gets it, And he says, okay, I'll take care of you. And then, nothing. I left him messages. I emailed him, but I never hear from him.
He don't hear back. Well, I hope he's still around. Shit, man. He used to put. I used to have him put a big brace on the side of my on the outer side of my baritone. So in the mosh pits, when the people would get crazy at the punk rock shows, my card would protect my keys. And then I had him put my name on there. So he had like one of them table plaques you put on your table with your name on your desk. He took that off in front of somebody's table plaque and put my name on there, and it said, Angelo, don't bust my baritone horn more, or some shit like that.
He was cool. Ruben was cool.
Yeah. I hope man. I hope you're still around, Ruben. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put it out there for him and see if we can bring him in, man.
Wow. Well, appreciate your time. I know you had a commitment here in a few minutes, Emilio, so I don't want you to be late for it. But I'm also, yeah. Thank you very much, guys. So here, let me just stop it. But
it's Angelo. I won't throw my horns anymore. That's what he put on the side of my horn, man.
Yeah, right on. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Hey, thanks for watching Party Like a Rock Star. If you're not already subscribed to the Facebook or YouTube channels, do it. We're also on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The handle is Party of Stars. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.